Oh, God. Oh, sorry, guys. I was just, watching Rogue One. Came out digitally today. Kind of been watching that. I kind of highly recommend you guys, if you're not going to get the digital download, get that Blu-ray. This is such a good movie, guys. Welcome to week 9, guys. Building Scarif. All right, so let's get into this, guys. First off, I've been reviewing Rogue One today, Friday. It just came out on digital download, and the Blu-ray comes out next week, and I will be getting both. I bought the digital download on Google Play, and then I'm aware that the Blu-ray has a digital download, but that's for iTunes, so now I have it for both. What's cool about when you buy it for Google Play is you can watch it on the YouTube app and stuff like that, but regardless, yes, I probably spent an extra $20, but it was totally worth it because I have rewatched Rogue One 3 times already in one day, and I cannot stop watching it. It just reoccurs to me how much I love that film. Okay, the reason why I'm building Scarif, obviously, it's such a good movie. Honestly, I really like it. It's up there on my all-time favorite Star Wars movies. It's up there. It's either number 1 or number 2 in my all-time favorite Star Wars movies. So, what are you gonna do? I really like Rogue One. It's a really great movie. All right, enough of that. All right, so what we're gonna be doing today, guys, is basically that we're gonna finish the water, and then we're also going to build some shrubbery because I want to start kind of getting into that more concept stuff than actually like bulk them out. We're going to look at the water. I want your guys' opinion on the design. And then lastly, we're going to build some more troops. And I have a surprise for you at the end of the video of basically an announcement. So without ado, guys, let's go ahead and get started in this segment right now. All right, guys, so starting this video off, first off, that just looks so awesome. I cleared up the beach, so it's much more cleaner. The beach is not done yet, guys. I still have work to do with the sand up along here, but that is something we'll touch on later. What did come in this week, though, was a bunch of bricklaying quarters right here. So I have all of those clear pieces that I need to fill in the water for the rest of the area along the beach. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I also got a bunch of these sticks, or I don't know what these are exactly called, but anyhow, these are for building more of these trees right here. So we will be building more trees, we will be finishing the water, and we'll also be expanding a little bit on the groundwork, not too much this week, but more on some like trying out some different plants, and I'm going to try to come up with some different designs for that. And then also, you know what's missing, guys? We really don't have that many troops right now. Obviously from Scarif, especially now that the movie is out on DVD, well, not DVD, but digital download DVDs next week, but basically, now that the movie is out to view, there is quite a bit of troops on Scarif, so I think we'll start, not build all of the battle picks that I have, but we'll start to get some more troops on here and see what that looks like as well. As for modifying the AT-ACT, the parts for that will be coming in hopefully next week, if not the week after that, and we will get the orange on the side and kind of redesign the head a little bit. I'm pretty content with how this the majority of the walker looks right now. Obviously, we'll do the modifications and all that here, but in terms of like the legs, I don't think I need to modify it. Is it a little less accurate? Maybe, but I don't think it's necessary. I've watched Rogue One a lot now, and this is about the scale. It's a little under scale, but it's close enough that nobody should. I mean, those of you guys out there are like hardcore. I'm sure will be like 88 or the AT-ACT is just it's not big enough. Well, that's not. It's huge, honestly, in my opinion, compared to the mock, and it really stands out, especially once we put the orange on and really get the final modified version of the AT-ACT. I think then you will guys see what I'm talking about. I think the fact that it's still in its AT-AT form right now might be throwing some of you off, but please just wait until we modify this and you see the final product, and especially when we bring a second one on, because I'm pretty sure we're going to do that. So yeah. All right, well, guys, I'm going to get this water done and see what you guys think about that. I'm going to try to do some waves and do some experimenting on that. So let's go. All right, guys, so basically the entire shoreline is all done now, and it looks great. It really makes Scarif pop more. And then for the last hour, I've been doing a couple different water designs, and I'm not completely sold on what I've created so far. Mainly because Scarif doesn't really have major waves like the real ocean does, because yes, Scarif has an ocean, but it's not nearly, if you look at the Bahamas and paradise type places in the world, the water is usually fairly calm and you never see these giant types of waves. So it's kind of hard to emulate that on Lego, at least for what I've created so far. I think what I'm going to do is spend the next week and kind of watch a lot of the Scarif clips where the water is present, and to understand how the water moves and what should be. Because at the moment, I'm not 100% sold on these kind of designs. This design is kind of the best one that I like so far. They're all very similar, of course, but there's variations. Like this one has more tiles, this one has less tiles, this one is kind of like a middle balance. This is just something crazy, and this was just, why not? So yeah, and then of course there's this original design. I'm not sold on this either. So what do you guys think? I want you down in the comments below. Do you like any of these water designs that I've created at all? We'll call this one number 1, this one number 2, this one number 3, and this one number 4, even though it's my least favorite. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know which one you like. So yeah. On that note, let's get to a couple trees, and we'll build some more troops, and we'll call that a segment. Alright guys, so I didn't realize it, but I ran out of these plants right here, and I never reordered more, so that is my fault. I don't know why I forgot that I needed to reorder more of them, but I do. So I was only able to make 2 more trees. What's cool about these though is unlike these over here that are using the green bush, I'm using the actual dark tan bush to represent the dead leaves of the palm tree. So just thought I'd show you what that looks like, guys, and hey, it's 2 more trees, better than nothing. But I will have more leaves next week, and we'll definitely build some more trees once those come in, because what I like a lot about these trees is they're fairly simple to make, and they have a really good, complex, nice looking design to them. Over here is my really horrible bush. Everybody can tell, this is just terrible. However, the point of this bush design is to show you that what I want to do with Scarif is create these 3-dimensional bush designs. That's what you're seeing here. And a better example than that crap is this. This is something I kind of created, kind of experimented with, but I like the look of the kind of look of the bush, because in Scarif you have these giant bushes around the palm trees that need to be created, and so I was kind of starting to do a little bit of that, and I like the look of this, not that, but yeah, this is looking really good actually. So hopefully you guys think the same. It's a very simple design actually. You can kind of see how it's made. Maybe I'll flip it upside down, that'll help. But yeah, it's just basically using these type of poles, or whatever they're, bars I think is what they're called actually, and you just kind of scatter them, and you get shorter ones in order to bring it in to create a more 3-dimensional look to them. And you don't have to use these leaves, you can use really any leaves to make this work, but this is kind of what I'm going for. And I'll try out with different leaves in the future, but this is kind of the design I was going for and what I'll be doing, because it really has a nice look, especially when I put it over in Scarif over there. It kind of looks nice, blends in. Well, it stands out a little bit because there's no other bushes, but once it's all done, it should look and blend in pretty well. And again, this is just a concept. It's not a finished piece whatsoever. It'll probably circular around and go lower and stuff like that. So try not to judge this too much, guys. It's basically just a concept design of what I'm trying to achieve in terms of the designing of the bushes around the palm trees. But yeah, all right, so the last thing I want to show you guys is some more troops on the beach. Let's see what that looks like. All right, guys, so I built some I wouldn't say build some battle packs, but I built the figures from the battle packs. And here they all are. So I only built 2 Rebel battle packs because that's all I have left at the moment. But I did build 4 of the Imperial battle packs. Here they all are. And when I say build, the pieces are all still in there. I'm going to use the pieces later for another project. But, well, even I might be able to use some of these parts for the Scarif bunker. I'm pretty certain on building the bunker. So, yeah. So, got some more troops. I don't have any weapons for them at the moment. I'm going to order some brick arms and load these guys up with some good-looking weapons and not the Lego blasters that these guys currently have. What's nice is I think Brick Arms, and this is not a sponsor or anything, Brick Arms came out with a really awesome Star Wars like blaster pack or whatever earlier this year, and it has like all the Rebellion weapons, all the Imperial weapons, and even some Clone Wars weapons for like $10. So I highly recommend you guys pick up one of those. Big fan of Brick Arms. I also like Clone Army custom weapons as well, but I think they also came out with Rebellion weapons as well, Clone Army customs. But I'm going to use Brick Arms for this project. I usually go in or depending on what I want to do. But anyhow, so I highly recommend pick up some Brick Arms for your own troops. I'm going to do the same. I'll get these guys with some true weapons, not these crappy whatever this is. Like, seriously, I can't believe they're still making these flick missile thing jiggers. I miss the flick fire missiles, guys. Do you remember the flick fire missiles? Because like I miss those. I don't like these like flick cannon things. They're not cool. Okay. The flick fire missiles were better than this. I remember, 5 years ago, we'd always joke, "Oh, the set's gotta have flick fire missiles." Now they threw these things on. These are way worse, in my opinion, than the flick fire missiles. Okay, way worse. Lego needs to get rid of them. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. All right. Anyhow, so we have some more troops for Scarif, guys. Next week, there's something really awesome coming, and so that's why you guys stick to the end of the video to hear what that's gonna be. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the segment. I know this wasn't a super interesting video, especially compared to last week with the AT, basically being the AT-ACT eventually once we modify it, and probably a week or two, maybe a little bit longer. So the surprise that I was talking about was next week's segment, we're going to move on to Section 2. Not because that we're done with Section 1, because we're not. It's because it'll help me visualize the bigger picture here. Now, at the beginning, when we first started Scarif 2 months ago now, wow. 2 months ago when I first started Scarif, I said that we were going to put this section out in my garage, and we'll build the next section in this exact same place, and then we'll connect the two at the end of it. I've decided, ultimately, I have another exact table like this, the table that Scarif is currently sitting on. It's right over here. The problem of why I didn't want to do that is, one, this room is not the biggest, so I have a certain amount of space to work with, and I like this table because it allows me to put all my parts and stuff like that. But ultimately, I realized it's better to build it together than separately. So I'm going to move this table in, slide Scarif onto this other table, and this will be Section 2, and we'll get that going. Now, Section 2 will probably, I'm about 99% sure that I'm going to do the landing pad, or at least some version of it. I'm not sure whether I can do the full-scale version, because it is quite big. I was looking, again, rewatching Rogue One so much. I was looking at it, and it's quite big, bigger than I thought it was, especially the landing craft. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a landing craft or not. I might not. because it is a much more massive vehicle than it looks. Like it's on par. It actually might be a little bit bigger, if not the same size as the AT-AT or AT-ACT. I don't know. I was just very surprised, especially if I'm making a minifig scale. If I'm not, then maybe I can get away with it. Not sure on that yet, so we'll see. Because there are landing pads, if you watch Rogue One, which I have been doing, there are landing pads that don't have the craft there and are just kind of like basically battle zones. So I think it would be okay if I don't make the landing craft. I know a lot of you want me to. It's one, I'm not sure whether I could make a good one or not. It's a little intimidating to try to make a spaceship. I've never really done it. I've always been building like mountains and interior, exterior stuff. I've never been one to build actual spaceships. And I have built, like, really long ago, I have built, like, Halo, like, I made a Halo Pelican, if you guys know what that is from the Halo games. But that was years ago. So it's a little intimidating for me, basically, to make the landing craft, is what I'm trying to say. So maybe I should just get over my fear and just try it. And if it looks bad, I won't use it. But hey, I tried it. So I might just do that. But yeah, so section 2, we will start the process of this whole room. I think I'm going to kind of rearrange it for section 2. And so basically everything's going to change in next week's segment. So that's the big surprise. We're basically moving everything around and making this thing a lot bigger. Twice the size, literally. But honestly, guys, the reason why I decided to build, not only because of build the section here, is not only because of the tight space, was also because I didn't want to take up this amount of room for months upon months. I wanted to move on to other projects at the same time. But with how fast Scarif is going, like, honestly, I feel like we'll be done by the beginning, if not middle of the summer. Like, we're talking June is a possible end date. We'll be having the complete, like, that's maybe even May, now I'm thinking about it. Like, another 8 to 10 weeks, we could be finished easily. I know we're going on week 10 next week, but I don't know if we'll even get to week 20. I think like week 18 might be the final segment. I don't know. Because section 2 will be a breeze. Now that we've done all of the, figuring out what this has to look like, I can just basically outline what I want to do and then redo this entire thing in that new outline. Of course, we'll experiment with shrubbery and palm trees we've already figured out. And then now that we have the AT-AT, and modifying this won't take more than a week or two. It'll probably be one segment, maybe 2 weeks, because I want your guys' opinion on it. But this, now that that's done, and because I'm just so surprised, honestly, how fast this is going. This is nowhere near how long Kashyyyk took. And granted, there was reasons why Kashyyyk took long, is because some things came up. I had 4 weeks break sometimes with Kashyyyk, but not Scarif. I've only taken one week break, and that's it. And I don't plan on taking any more in the near future, except for 1 week, and that is a surprise for April. I don't want to spoil it yet, but there's a new video coming out about what exactly I'll be doing in April, particularly the second week, so you might know what I'm talking about. But anyhow, that's going to be it, guys. So I know it's a shorter video. I'm sorry, but next week's segment will be awesome. I promise. All right, guys. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.